Yeah, this is Point Black. Coming in hard and off the card, hitting them on the boulevard, and coming with the heat to the damn street. I'm coming with that flow straight to the barrio. You know what I'm saying? Coming with them facts. Damn. So Hank, coming with the facts to crack their back. And that's how we do. You know what I mean? Because we seen a lot of stuff going on over here with this border thing. It's now seemed to be turning into more than what it should be. You know what I'm saying? And we got to straighten it out. You know, we can't leave it up to other people to make that decision for us. You check? Because what's going on in our world today is definitely something that we need to straighten out. You know what I'm saying? So we coming with the heat to the motherfucking street. And we coming with that flow straight to the barrio. We coming with the facts to crack their back. And we coming with that heat from the motherfucking street. This is PBNN, Point Black, National News. That's right, the late edition. Now, today, we're looking at what going on with this border thing, and a lot of things that is not looking right. You know what I'm saying? When people use certain things to gain their spot and think that they're being slick in order to be able to achieve that goal, you know what I'm saying? And then when you achieve the goal, you know what I'm saying, the heat comes down and now you want to try to say you didn't do it. This is normal practical demon Democrat Luciferian garbage and how they do. And they've been running the same game for years, feeding off the people's blood and doing a bunch of garbage. And then don't want you to say anything about it because they want to fulfill their scriptural Bible based on the fact of them bringing that garbage to light. You know, they don't want the world to know that they've been lying to you all their lives. So, you know, all your life you've been lied to about something that has an esoteric message in it based on them, bringing that type of vibe to you to make you a part of their garbage. You know what I'm saying? And then you follow, you know, foot, hook, and sinker, and no questions or examinations to the truth. And we got to stop that. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop that because this is how you got in the mess that you're in. In the first place, how we got where we are now. So we've got to come off a lot of the stuff that we have found to be something that gave us a form of understanding. Now, many have made many prophecies, even going back to the days of even the Freemasonry, Albert Pike, and all these clowns who brought Baphomet statues into this country, even in Chicago. They did that on the premise of them creating a world in which they want to live in. But that's their world. Where's the respect of the choice of the person to make that for themselves? You don't make a new world order and then tell the people that this is what it's going to be because you this and you that. So that will show that the election can sometimes be no more than a good side show. So we got to start looking at that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was listening to, when we was talking the other day about the growing problem at the border, I was listening to what this demon, Luciferian, said. That's what I call her. I think her name is Jen Psaki, or whatever her name is. You know what I mean? She was saying some old bull. You know what I mean? She was saying, in her words, not mine. You know what I'm saying? In her words, Mrs. Psaki, whatever her name is, in her words, and I quote, she said, "It should be it should be, it shouldn't be a surprise that more are coming to the border since Trump immorally kicked them out. Now, that's a fucking lie, Mrs. Psaki, and you know it with her Luciferian butt. You know what I'm saying? Now, that was not what was that was not what Trump was doing. You know what I mean? Trump was cleaning up their mess. Let's get that clear once and for all. Trump was cleaning up their mess that they created going all the way back to Obama administration. This is how it fell, the way it fell. Nobody is stupid. You know what I'm saying? They were doing the same thing then, stroking it up. You see? And by the time he was about to get out, they were flushing down to the border. So everything working coincident. And then Trump came in, beating Hillary for the election. You know, Mrs. Psaki, you know what I'm saying? They were cleaning up your mess. And she needs to understand that. You know what I mean? That's something she probably helped to set up herself. So she ain't fooling nobody, and she needs to go sit down with her deep state behind. I'm just being frank, and that's point black. You know what I mean? Even you know, when you ask, would Biden administration consider, you know what I'm saying, reversing the policy, Mrs. Psaki answer is no. Yeah, the answer was no, based on reversing that policy, which is very crazy of them to do so. So we have to look at the fact that these people are aiming to do what they do, no matter what we say. This is how we find ourselves in the mess that we're in. You know what I'm saying? And you have a lot of regular people who seem to think that whatever they say, based on what happened or what has happened, they have the better word and you don't. So we have to look at that. You know, the increase in crime by illegals, enabling, you know what I'm saying? The increase in crime that comes in with the wave of different people coming to your country is thing, because the increase the increase in crime by illegals able to murder and catch and release is something we can't have. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to lose our family members because we try to help someone who in return, once get a foothold, comes with something different. You know what I'm saying? You know, so the catch and release overstanding, if you come in this country, it must be one law for all. But Obama and Biden give these people special treatment by creating catch and release and sanctuary cities. So here's a bunch of dudes come in, they can murder your kid and then get catch by the cops, and because he's an immigrant or from South America, he gets released and sent to a sanctuary city. Then next thing, he can stay there without being deported or standing up for his crimes. You see, this is what they created by Biden and Obama. So don't give me that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to definitely, you know, check this. You know what I'm saying? You have to check this. You know what I'm saying? They come on feeding on who? You know what I'm saying? They were feeding on Biden's leadership. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The catch and release, you know, it was a come on, you know, who feeling that it was done, who's feeling and who's thinking it was done by Trump. But it was not done by Trump. This is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They were feeding on, these people were feeding on Biden leadership when they led them in the country. They did this before, and look at the amount of murders that took place. You know what I'm saying? Biden leadership is bullshit if you ask me. And you know, and he's ignoring federal law. He really is. He really is ignoring federal law, you know what I'm saying, and disrespecting our Constitution, and so on. You see what I mean? what's going on today. You know what I'm saying? Biden is determined to open back up the door, you know, the border, even in a so-called pandemic. Ooh, okay. You know what I mean? So something don't make sense. You could logically see that. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Even the relief of, his relief for COVID, you know what I'm saying, is bold to me. Because a little bit of money you gave these people and the shit that happened to them and the shit that has been going on and the loved ones they lost, that little bit of money is garbage. It helps, but it's not really nothing. You know what I mean? In the end, it is gone. You know what I mean? But that is lost so much. Is what we have to understand. You know what I mean? Even that is bull. You know, because 1.9 trillion COVID relief bill that he put forth to me was a trick. It barely contained any kind of to me it barely contained anything to do with the COVID relief at all. You know what I'm saying? Most of this money will be spent on more far left projects, if you ask me, and their policies. You know what I mean? That will be hard to undo. That will be hard to undo. Even it'll be so hard to undo. Some of these things that they sign be hard to undo, and they give you hell to undo them. Even already on the 20, they are already to me using some of this money probably to already rush up on the 24 elections. You know what I mean? Because they set to cheat already. If you ask me, they fooling me. You know what I'm saying? And why, to me, and another question I have for them is why you have to shut the city down? You know, businesses did not make, shutting down businesses did not make no sense to me. Shutting down every single business in the whole city to me. You know what I mean? But now, why they using this technique of executive and a scientific move to me is to the point it cannot be disputed based on dummies, people who fail, and there are many, who fail to do any kind of research, any kind of looking into this thing other than what these people told them. And there are many. Biden talking about control. Control. They should have done that in 1865, talking about gun control. Gun control. You know what I mean? And Ted Cruz is right. We must target the people, you know what I'm saying? We must target the people who are, doing this crazy shit, which is sometimes mainly their people. You know what I'm saying? And our people now over there in different cities doing the same garbage. Black people. You know what I'm saying? Like they had it hard enough already. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So Ted Cruz is right. We must target the people. But now, how will they stop sickos? Because we know who is the cause of this. We know who's the cause of this. You know what I'm saying? We know how it is. You know what I'm saying? We know how it is. So we know the game that they are playing. You know what I'm saying? Even down to this whole pandemic situation. Who the question is, if you take away everybody's guns and everybody don't have no gun to defend themselves and nobody can hunt and get food, they gotta be going back to Neanderthal days, throwing a spear with no point at the end. How will they protect themselves? In an apocalyptic situation that they're trying to create to bring their so-called fake revelation to life. How will the people protect themselves? So you want to disarm the people, and then you want to cause an apocalyptic situation, and then they have no course of defending themselves at all, based on the whole garbage. Troops marching in the street, rounding the people up, screaming like they're weeping and wailing and all kinds of things going on. You know what I'm saying? Who would protect the people in that situation that the demon Democrats like to bring in, the leftists? Who? I ask. You know what I'm saying? Because they love to bring in these apocalyptic situations. You know what I mean? Because if we don't come to grips with facts, this might happen one day. hmm While they're busy up there talking about 1820 and looking stupid in the face. You know what I mean? If you ask me. Now we're hearing Pelosi refuse to call out Cuomo, jumping on Cuomo's head again, refuse to call out Cuomo to resign. Yeah, because she's down with Cuomo and all that go on. And all that goes on. She was down with it from the beginning of this mess. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? How we got here. She was a part of it. Her deep state behind. She's a part of it with her city behind. Some are right. Some are right to be skeptical. You know what I mean? That is a demon Democrat ploy to expand voters and a permanent majority, where they can get a permanent majority, where the Republicans can never win an election. You know what I'm saying? And everyone votes demon Democrat, not now, but for the next 47 years. Well, 47 years more. Not just for 47 years, but 47 years more or forever. You see what I'm saying? So this is why they're doing all that you see that's to me that is going on. It's to see their skin. You know what I mean? Sad when you know what I mean? You see? It's sad when you and then when you look at the situation again going on a lot of fronts, you know what I mean? It's sad when the you know when you bait people, you know what I mean? You bait the people and use them, but you bait them using a promise. You know what I'm saying? A promise of a lie that have a feeling of hope. The only one who proposed, you know what I'm saying, and the one to me the one who only proposed this wicked trick. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They proposed it and had the people coming across back on the border, coming across um that border on a hope and a promise. And that's not right. Causing all kinds of you know what I'm saying? It to me, doing that is the wicked. You know what I mean? Biden is trying to start to me a race war in this situation, knowing many will get hurt in this. Biden administration is a disaster. You know what I'm saying? Waiting to happen. And I'm just gonna be frank about that. His whole administration shit that he put forward and is doing is nothing but a disaster. And if they don't check his ass, it's going to happen. Or I'm hoping that more speak up and be on the down. It's a disaster to me. You know, he needs to be removed. Same thing like Cuomo, impeach if you ask me before it goes too far. You know what I mean? We cannot continue down a road of failed policy. That just doesn't make sense. You know? And it ain't conservative or positive or whatever you want to call it. This is based on what's going on. You know what I mean? We cannot keep on going down the road of failed policies. And far and far as failed policies as far as their, you know, prophecies going according to their biblical Bible. Because a lot of this is a concern. It's a big concern. I don't I don't you know I don't and never will believe their bull. You know what I'm saying? That I would never believe that bull. You know that they have rule. and it seems like this is all happening in the same sequence, and who is orchestrating it, I know who, but I'm not gonna call the name right now. You know what I'm saying? I never believe in that bull. And who and why, and who wrote the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Who that wrote the Bible, and who and where is this God they're talking about? You see what I'm saying? No man, you know what I'm saying, can to me it's a man that's doing all this bull and saying some God is doing it. Why would God do that to the human race of people? Is the question you have to ask. What did the people do to God, their God, you know what I'm saying, their fake God, that you bring this upon their head and orchestrating it to fall exactly in go and seek is the question. You know what I'm saying? Their God is a statue, if you ask me. And that statue is Baphomet. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? In front of six state buildings in the South, even in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? You need to look it up. You know what I'm saying? And that's fact and point blank. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he is crazy. To be body just carried out the plans as same as Obama, same plans, because we know why. You know what I'm saying? We know why, but it is the same in many ways. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact. New York Times admitting now that Trump is right. You know what I'm saying? Trump is right. Now there must be a reopening. You know what I'm saying, of the city. Too long, the city has been closed down under mandatory law, and the people have to move around. This is important. Have to be, it's time. It's time to do so. To open up the city. That's a fact. They close down the city, and the people can't move around, and it's time to open up. Everybody been vaccinated. Everybody been distant. Yeah, now we must reopen. I have the kids. I have to go check the kids. You always got to check the kids because sometimes the kids be acting up. So, we we definitely have to get back to the reopening of the city. It's important that we do, and it's a need that has to be done because it's for the health of the people and the community as a whole. You know what I'm saying? How will this go on? Why will this go on, and how long will this go on? Because it shows something or someone is holding New York, back, and you got to cut that out. The question is why by now, a cold and a flu acting virus, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Acting by now, it should be an endemic, is what I'm saying. By now, it should be an endemic by now. People have done their part, you know what I'm saying? They have done their part, you know, you know, as you look with the cases. Cases should hold the cases shouldn't hold the whole state from reopening, because by now it's been over a year and more, and you understand what you are dealing with scientifically, and therefore, but yet still you're pushing on with certain things that you want the people to do, saying you want 2 million people to do this and 2 million people to do that. But that should not be holding back the reopening of the city based on the fact that you already have X amount of millions already vaccinated. So something is not making sense, and it seems like a Luciferian plan, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? At this point, precautions are in place. So where are the cases coming from and how? We need to investigate. You know what I'm saying? Mark, I think his name is Mark Levine, is cautioning against reopening, which doesn't make sense. Mr. Levine, you know what I'm saying, said we have a plateau in New York City and in New York State. Now, if we have a plateau That means that's what, instead of using the word plateau, we'll use the word dissipation of this disease, or whatever they're saying it is. So if we have a plateau and a dissipation in in the city and New York State as a whole, at the level at which there is a extraordinary amount of virus still circulating. That's what he said, Mr. Levine. But we know how to social distance, wear masks, and so on. So whatever is really going on, is making the people from here on out. It's like you're taking revenge on them. You know what I'm saying? We know how to do that. You know, you know, suffering is just not good. You're making the people suffer is a is a given. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at the whole cases and everything they're saying, to me it's a given. Not a catching. At what point we gonna decide which one is which, in order to have a scientific understanding of this pandemic as a whole? You cannot keep running down this road, because if we keep running down this road, they're going to be pumping you with a whole lot of what. You know what I'm saying? So we have a choice. We have a choice. You know what I mean? And like I said, when it comes to the end of one's life, one must make that choice. One must have his last choice and wishes to do as what he is when it comes to things. Same as you would tell people, it's out of control to the point people flee for your life. Flee for your lives. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to tell them that in a kingdom, because it's gotten and they have breached the walls. You know what I'm saying? And once they breach the walls, the people that you're protecting within those walls must flee for their lives, and we as soldiers are going to stand to the end. You know how we do. You know what I mean? This is something that we must bring back in men, as well as the women. You know what I'm saying? And stop running like chickens with our head cut off. You know what I mean? And the only head up top is theirs. When it comes to the end, one must make that choice. So why is the restrictions hanging on so long is the question. You know what I mean? It seems to me, it seems like it's a form of control that's going on here. It seems like somebody's high on the control here. You know what I'm saying? Seems like somebody's high on the control to me. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we must ask and investigate, no matter the outcome. Where is the heart of the woman and man? Here is what I ask. Sure do. You know what I mean? So it's time to open. You know what I mean? This has gone on too long. You know what I mean? Como, he knows, you know what I'm saying? He knows what the deal is. He know what the deal is. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why we still have all these restrictions. Then we have now we have, these dumb people running around and they saying stupid shit out of their mouth, knowing for well nobody is dying from COVID other than what's going on, based on what they have seen or heard. But the evidence speaks for itself right outside. People know how to take care of themselves. Time to open up. This has gone on too long enough. This has gone on long enough. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You Como knows. You know what's up, and what's the deal with, and then he knows the deal, how to deal with it. You know what I mean? For real. This is not a joke. They've been dealing with this here for how long now? You know what I mean? That's like I say. You know what I'm saying? That's like me saying, I don't need water. How the fuck you don't? Excuse me. How the hell you don't need water? And but for how long is the question? You know, So people need to get back to the flow of life because the flow of life is water. You know what I mean? That's the way it flows. You know what I mean? But if I was, in charge of what's going on today, let's say I was the president of the United States, you know what I'm saying? You, Como, will be out a long time ago. It wouldn't have been no question. You would have been gone because we know what we are dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact and point blank. So it's time for us to step up and move on. You know what I'm saying? And that goes the same for the water company that's out there doing a bunch of garbage. You need to get the water clean. You know what I'm saying? Now we're speaking about water. The water companies, are raking in millions for years. They're raking in millions. And know that drinking water, drinking water for the millions of people. You know what I'm saying? Is a necessary thing based on the state of life. You know what I'm saying? The question we need to ask these water companies and different people that allow this garbage to go on, you know what I'm saying, and working for whoever they're working for, probably they're working for the deep state, we don't know. You know what I mean? Because everybody got their hands in the cookie jar. Point black, John Sheriff's on them. You know what I'm saying? But we need to ask the water companies, can the water company people who are doing the work in running these water companies, can they do without clean drinking water themselves? This is not a joke. It's a matter of life. People joke around too much. They spy too much. They all up your coca hole in your business and think that nobody knows. But guess what? Go tell them, I hate to say it this way, go tell them I fucking said it. And stay out of my face. I'm an American.